G'day everyone, it's Curtis here. Welcome to an On the Back Wheel video. Today is the first episode of Chat and Ride, and the name gives it away. We're gonna have a chat with someone in the motorcycling industry, then we're gonna go for a ride and have a bit of a laugh. Today we have a motocross racer, off-road rider, e-bike enthusiast, Harley Pan America owner, YouTuber, and probably the most renowned adventure bike trainer in the area, Mal Dalton. Mal, how you going?
Cheers, Curtis. Thanks, mate.
So besides me, what brings you out here today?
Today I was coaching. So today I generally coach down at Queensland Moto Park, which a lot of people know, but today I sort of cater for the guys that live up around the Sunshine Coast. So I had two guys from up around Noosa, trained them here in the like Glasshouse Mountains at the back of Wamarang. So yeah, that's what I was doing here. We had a full day training session, two guys. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And what bikes were they on?
T7 and a 1290S KTM.
The S, so that's the road bias.
More road bias, but he had off-road tyres, but yeah, it's got the alloy wheels. And, yeah.
Okay, and how long you been doing the training for?
Mate, funny story, I actually only started training a year ago. So I started coaching in 1982. When I was racing motocross as a 19-year-old. I started coaching motocross back in Cooma. And then pretty much, you know, racer, went through my life racing. 5 years ago I started coaching motocross again because it's just a passion and I enjoy passing on that information and knowledge to younger riders. Started off-road coaching as I was off-road racing at the same time. Yeah. And then bought an adventure bike, started talking to people. They started wanting to, every adventure bike rider I met, when I said I was a motorcycle coach, they go, that's what we need. So I went, right, I just morphed what I was doing with off-road and motocross into the adventure world. So it's really only been probably 18 months I've been doing adventure bike coaching, and that is now my bread and butter. So that's pretty much what I'm doing full time. Yeah.
Seems to be going well, because if I look online, all the people recommend you for adventure bike training.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know, obviously you've got your BMW crew, which is, you know, Chris Urquhart and Shane Booth and Miles Davis. They're doing a great job of what they're doing. I think what I do is a little more boutique and a bit more hands-on. So the last week I've had two BMW riders that have done multiple BMW courses. They just want a bit more hands-on tuition, so they look me up and come to me. So it's a pretty good balance. So for those riders, they can do the BMW safaris and events, do their training days with BMW, but if they want to really hone in on their skills, they generally get in touch with me and then we step forward. Okay.
So what's a day of training with Mal Dalton look like?
Day of training, pretty much specific to each rider's abilities. So example, if you were a customer, your training day would be totally different to the two guys this morning. So the two guys this morning were, I typically have a couple of crowds. One, the road bike guy.
Okay.
So the road bike guy comes along and goes, I've been riding road for 30 years, I want to do adventure bike riding. So then at least that gives me knowledge as to what lesson I have to roll out for them. But pretty much regardless, so the two guys today were trail bike riders. One guy rode ag bikes on a farm, and then they rode trail bikes as kids. Now they're middle-aged men, they have adventure bikes, so they're out doing that. They want to learn their skills. Now because they've come from that background doesn't necessarily mean they're good riders. Their technique is pretty agricultural. So everything I do and everything I teach is all about body position. So the whole day is pretty much, there's 2 hours of pretty intense body position. And what I do is I demonstrate why I show them what we do, but then I tell them why we do it. So it's not just get your elbows up, put your knees in, hold the bike, whatever. It's this is why we do it. And that's where I differentiate with how I teach and how I instruct. I'm very hands-on and showing. So I do demonstrations and I get those guys actively doing it. So a typical day is we'll roll out, we'll do our body positioning, seated, standing. We show how the body works in its strongest position. So we then move on to braking. So typically I throw them straight into emergency braking on dirt roads. Reason is for that if you learn it at the extreme level, the rest of the braking is pretty easy.
And it's like, it's pretty common when you're riding off-road, you're going to jam on the brakes.
Exactly, So I teach them straight in, go down there, do a U-turn, come out at 60 kilometres an hour, get those brakes working. But that's after probably an hour of tuition before we get to that point. Then we do cornering, leverage. We show how we lever the bike and how we use ride the bike in a state of zero weight, so the bike feels weightless all the time. That's pretty much it. And then that's the first 3 hours, and then we go out and put all that into practical use somewhere. So today out here in the Glasshouse Mountains, fantastic. We've got all trails like we're on here. We've got gravel roads, we've got some single track, and we just go out and find little pockets and train. generally I'm at Queensland Moto Park, and I've got some really great little areas that I specifically go to and train. But it's kind of like the same format, but different level to what level rider you are. Yeah.
Okay. At QMP, is there particular tracks like off-road tracks as well? I know there's the MX tracks.
Yeah, so QMP has 4 senior motocross tracks. It has 3 or 4 junior tracks. It's got about 80 kilometres of single track, but they're on a huge chunk of land, of government land. So they have a leasehold with Queensland government for their land. So I've got these little pockets that I can go to off the emergency access roads. So I access these areas away from all the noise, all the motocross tracks. There's no enduro bikes. There's no one where I go. Yep. So I literally have a good arrangement with Motorcycling Queensland. I'm a brand ambassador for Motorcycling Queensland and for QMP. So with that, I have kind of full use of any area that I want to use, as long as I check it by them where I want to go. So I can use hills, sandy sections, wherever. Yep. And I just go out and find them, and I've got 3 or 4 spots that I'll use over and over. Yeah, it's great.
So what's the most common fault that riders have?
Most common fault riders have is they use their arms way too much. They hold on with their arms.
I'm guilty of that at times.
Yeah, and they don't use their lower body. And what I do is I make them think the other way, where it's all lower body, and their arms are specifically for using control. So you control the bike. Think of a horse rider. And the other day I taught a dressage lady that coaches. She's a dressage coach.
On the motorbike?
Yeah. So she's 3 years. She's 1250 BMW.
Was she decent? I think she...
Yeah, her posture was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Her gripping of the bike, next level, and to relax from her torso up, she clicked with it straight away. But she'd been to several other schools, and no one had ever shown her that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so once she heard it and confirmed that, it's kind of like, I've never ridden a horse, so...
Yeah.
But kind of like riding a horse. So you're gripping it tight with your lower body, and your upper body is loose to move around. Very similar thing. So when people see someone like me ride, or someone of a good level, Chris Birch or any of those guys, you watch them, they're just connected to the bike with their legs.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
That's all it is. Upper body is purely controlling the motorcycle. Yeah. That's the number one fault, is they're gripping the bike wrong. Yeah.
Is that for adventure bike riders as well? Or?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, and you know what's funny, mate? So handlebars are handlebars.
Yeah.
The only difference is mountain bikes, you've got nothing to grip, but you've got your SPD, you're connected to the pedals. So generally the body positions that I teach are relevant to mountain bikes, motocross, enduro, and adventure bikes.
Yeah.
And when I started teaching on adventure bikes, what I actually did is I shot a video where I bought a 1290, I went out to QMP, and I said, before I coach, I've got to prove to myself that my technique works on these big bikes. So I went out, ripped around the motocross track, did half a day on a motocross track, went out to the medium level enduro tracks, ripped them apart just to prove that technique is technique.
Yep.
And then from that was my basis for my coaching. I went, right, I know that works. I know what it means is I have to put more energy into it. And that's where my coaching sort of evolved.
But you just bloody bit me.
Yellow bike, mate.
That's it. The beehive.
Yeah.
I call it the big banana, but beehive will do.
Yeah.
Mate, you'd be pretty buggered after riding a 1290 around a motocross track for a day.
Yeah, hey, it's great fun. Actually, what was really surprising, the day I did it, I had a mate out there on a YZ250, and he come out for an enduro ride with me on the 1290. So I didn't really have much relativity of how fast I was going on the bike. Then he just said to me, he goes, man, that thing is hauling. And it's like, oh, really? Like, because it's such a different feeling of motorcycle. And it's, you can literally ride them. I took this on the motocross track the other day. I'll shoot a video pretty soon on it. But it's you can have a lot of fun. You just can't jump jumps where you're flat landing. So you can jump if you've got a sweet down ramp, you can jump it. Yeah. But if you're flat landing, you wouldn't do it. You're going to they're too heavy. You're going to leave the engine on the ground.
Yeah. I find with this, like, if you're not smooth, or as you said, if you're flat landing, it is a rough ride, and it really knocks you around. Like the balance. Yes. It's just so much weight moving. It just stuffs you.
So when I ride this on a motocross bike, it's just about flowing, keeping the bike smooth. And I have actually worked out you can whip these. Scrub them. You can scrub them, keep them low. Okay. So one of the hills here, you got the water bars coming up. You can actually scrub it and keep the bike low. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So if you've ever done it on a dirt bike, you can do it on these, and it effectively works. So let's say you're coming up a hill, you go out to the left and you come across the ramp a little bit of an angle, and at the top you turn the bars down. And it keeps the bike low. It's fun.
Fuck, yeah,
I wouldn't
hang on.
recommend it, but it's yeah, you can do it.
If I try it today, I'm definitely going down. Probably.
Yeah, it's fun manoeuvre.
Yeah. Here's a question for you.
Yep.
How do you find if someone has like bar risers?
Yep.
How do you find that changes body position and like, as you said, using your arms?
Yeah, good question. So, I'm 6'3". People would assume I would run bar risers, and they would assume I'd run bar risers on a motocross bike or a Duro bike. I actually run a flat handlebar. So the taller you are, the lower you want the front, because what you're effectively doing is closing in your rider triangle.
Okay.
So a lot of guys, the mistake is they throw bar risers on because I'm a tall guy. So the technique I show is you lower your body to the handlebars, right? So you're lowering your center of gravity. You're getting into more of an attack position.
Yep.
Rather than teeter-tottering right up here with these bar risers. And the bar risers are bringing the bars closer back to your body, which is what we don't want.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want more reach. You want to have, you would know, you want more room on the bike. Roll your handlebars back down flat and you'll feel you're all squashed in here. If you just get them forward, you have more reach on the bike. So lower handlebars give you that. With the Harley, I played around with this thing for 2 months. I went to motocross handlebars. They were too low. Then I put a Harley Davidson riser on, which lifted them up so I could use the flat bar. I just couldn't get the right combo. So I had to go back to the stock setup on these, which was probably one of the funkiest things that took me a while to get used to, but now I just don't look at it and I'm fine.
Yeah, you can keep tinkering, and it plays in your mind.
And I went, the Harley engineers probably aren't that far off the mark, so let's just run with what they have and see how it goes.
I noticed that they're bringing out the base model on this, and they're running narrow bars.
Oh, right.
Narrow, and I think they're different band at narrow bars, where these are wider bars. When I first got this, compared to my KLR, I put the Pro Tapers on. They're quite small.
Yes.
They felt like they're from a motocross bike almost. Yeah. They were ATV bars.
Okay.
And then I jumped on this, I was like, whoa, but you get a heap of leverage.
Yes, correct.
And you kind of need it on, I find, the bigger bikes.
You do,
sometimes.
and that's one thing I really teach a lot of is how we use leverage on a bike. What was funny, there's a guy that lives not far from here. He's a multi-Australian off-road champion, but he's 5'5". He coached me one day, right? Yeah. So he's won 7 Australian off-road championships and the Australian Safari twice. And he coached me off-road racing, and he goes, man, you move so much on the bike. And I go, yeah, well, I watch you ride. He goes, yeah, but I'm half your size, mate. He goes, I'm 65 kilos. I've got to move to get leverage on the bike. And that was my penny drop moment where I went, okay. So he said, watch Toby Price. He goes, Toby moves his body very little on the bike because he's a big dude. He's 100 kilos plus. He only has to move a leg a little bit to make the bike move differently. Okay. So yeah, leverage is a big thing, and handlebar width position is a big part of that. Because you probably tell me if I'm wrong, like I haven't had any training or anything like that, very basic stuff. You don't want to be moving side to side, do you? It's forward to back, is that right? Correct. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What you do is, you should always be leading with your head. Your head's always the thing and everything's moving below you. Yeah. So if you want to move the bike around, it's your upper body's you can push the bike side to side, and you're generating all that energy through your legs. So you're gripping the bike with the legs and moving the bike around with your arms, and your head stays focused where you're going. Okay. Yeah, and again, look at a horse rider. Horses are jiggling around and everything, but they maintain that head position. Yeah. You want the bike to work right, not yourself. Correct. In a lot of ways. Yeah, yeah. So that's a really good point. A lot of stuff I do is talking about I make the bike come to me. Yeah. Okay, so let's say some of these bumps here, instead of being reactive to that bump, my head stays level. I'm that loose in my upper body, the bike just moves up to me. Yeah, yeah. So in that range. Because when you're stiff, you're like, oh fuck, there's a bump coming. You'll stiffen up and then you whack and you. Exactly. And you're off in the there's a really good thing I show people when I have when I do my school. Hoons everywhere. What's that? It's a car. What have we got there? Oh, it's a patrol. Patrol. Far out. Yeah, so one thing I do when I do my schools is try and get the bike balanced, so it's like teeter-tottering. Yeah. And if you relax your upper body, right, and you grip the bike is loose. If they tension up their upper body, the bike suddenly becomes dead and heavy. Because now you've got that entire body mass connected to the bike. Yeah, so it's really important to stay loose in the upper body. Okay. Yeah. The person I see who does it when you start watching motocross again is Jet Lawrence. Like, Yeah,
looks...
there's a lot of talk about Jet and his technique, and an interesting thing about Jet is, it isn't brought up much in conversation, he was a dancer.
Right.
Yeah, so if you know any girls that dance, their posture is...
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic. Jet was a hip-hop dancer, and he was trained to be a dancer, and that's where he was almost going to do dancing, so I've been told off a friend of theirs.
I did not know that.
And his posture is probably, everyone's banging on about his riding technique, it's probably just has really good posture.
Yeah,
and
so
that's pretty much...
exacerbates how good he looks on a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but now everyone's trying to copy it. It's like, well, maybe all those people should go do some dance lessons. My daughter did ballet. She rides a push bike the same way.
Yeah.
The lady on the horse rides the same way because she has amazing posture. Guys are potato sacks. We love to sit down like we're watching TV.
I have terrible posture.
Yeah, so that's reflective in the way people ride. So I constantly tell myself when I'm riding to rotate my pelvis to keep my spine straight. Yeah. Constantly. It's a constant dialogue I'm talking, which is one thing in training people. I always say nothing's automatic.
Yeah.
Everything I teach is, everything when I'm riding that 1 kilometre here, I'm focusing on everything I'm doing, where my feet are, where my elbow, everything, constantly. Yeah. And that's why these things are so enjoyable to ride, because you have so much input into them.
Yes. Yeah.
And the input into these, at double the weight of my motocross bike, is double the input. It's pretty much how I work it out. Okay. I had a lady the other day, she was 55 kilograms on a Himalayan. So she goes, I've got a little bike.
It's not, they're not that little.
Let's do the maths. What do they weigh?
I have to be near enough 200.
200 kilos.
Yeah.
55 kilos to 200 is like 3.5 to 1.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm 100 kilos, this is 240. So this is only 2.4 to 1. She's at a bigger disadvantage on a Himalayan to what I am on a Pan America. Yep. So when she goes, I'm on a little bike, it should be easy. No, it's hard. Like, you have to move more on this bike. You have to put more leverage into the bike to make it work. Yep. Yeah, and once I sort of explain it that way, the penny kind of drops with people and they go, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
And these big bikes, like...
I can see you're even working on it now going, I think he's onto something.
No, you're right, you are. Yeah. And like this is what, 230, so similar weight, I suppose. You do these trails, let's say tackle them on a KTM 350 like we talked about before, you just blitz it, think it's so easy. Yep. But then you're on something like this and it transforms those trails into something that's actually pretty challenging and you really got to concentrate. Yeah, yeah. I had one of the guys today, he was on a T7, so he came down this hill here, WR 450 speed. Yeah, right. And I said, you know what, you're going to get hurt. Yes. Because something's going to come unstuck and you're going to get hurt. So I got him to go back and do it. I said, I want you to do it. First gear, controlled speed all the way down. And he came down, he said he enjoyed it so much more because he felt so much more in control of the bike. Yeah. And I said, that's how you should ride. If you were riding to Cape York and you were doing between Fruitbat Falls and Elliott Falls, there's a little trail that looks exactly like that. Yep. And you rode like that and you wrecked your whole trip. Yeah. Over a 100-metre section of trail. So this is how you should ride these bikes. You've got to give them respect. Yep. Yeah. I have a really simple little motto. Every downhill, start really slow. And every uphill, just start a bit quicker. Yep. Yeah, and it saves your skin. Well, you can slow down going up, but you can't slow down going down. That's one thing I think people underestimate is that if they come off an enduro bike, you can charge down a hill and pull that bike up. On these, mate, it ain't going to happen. Oh, man. So start the hill slow. I've been guilty of that. Yeah. Especially when I'm excited at the start of a ride. Yeah. I'll just be smashing it and then you're coming off and people probably seen the videos where I get stuck or you're ending up struggling trying to pick up a bike that's 200 kilos. Watch a BMW rally the first day if they hit dirt. Yeah, right. There'll be guys off everywhere because they're too hyped up. Yeah. And if they go onto hill sections on the first day, there's bikes off everywhere because they go too hard, too quick. They sort of don't pay respect to the bike. And, that's one thing. When I teach people, I say, do you mountain bike ride? And they go, yeah, I ride mountain bikes. They go, are you scared of your mountain bike? They go, no. I go, well, I'm going to make you feel the same way on your adventure bike. Yeah. But you've always got to have that underlying respect that if it goes wrong, it's going to go wrong big. I was doing a ride the other week out here. I didn't know, that's Big Red over here, isn't it? Yes. Yep. So I stopped at the top of that. I was just about to drop in. Right? And I got that. Yeah, I got off the bike. It's the first time ever I got off the bike and analysed and went, no, I'm not doing it. Yep. And did a U and went out. It's the first time I've ever actually got off the bike because I saw how steep it was and I go, oh, I don't think I'm going to tackle this. Yeah, yeah. So you got to know your battles and your battlefields. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. I've started doing that frequently on these bikes just because you look at it and some days you're at the start of a ride and you're just like, I want to have a good day of riding.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be trashing my bike and fucking myself at the start of the ride, you know.
Yeah.
Like, so you really got to pick your battles in these bikes.
Yeah.
That hill, the one next to it over there, I did ages ago. That's a fun, fucking steep.
Yeah.
Like on these bikes,
Yeah.
you are. You
It's,
got to make sure the ABS is off, that's for sure.
and look, I will also say the other day when I was out here at the end of my ride, when I did that hill where I got stuck, I didn't have gear on, so I was dressed like I am now. So this is my casual adventure bike clothing.
Yeah.
If I'm going out,
I'm in my MX gear looking like a Power Ranger.
No, but the thing is, mate, if I'm out doing, sometimes a lot of my coaching at QMP, if I'm coaching advanced guys, I'll have all my motocross gear on, my knee protection, my motocross boots, everything. When I'm doing these rides, I'll ride to 20 or 30% of my ability, so I'm quite comfortable.
Well, you're training as well, like your primary goal is training, is showing off a few skills.
Yeah.
Like you said you did behind us is a big log and you showed off doing that.
Yeah.
You're not pushing it, I suppose.
No, exactly. Yeah. So, and child of the 70s, mate. So jumping push bikes and shedding thongs. Hey, like I'm not wearing thongs.
Yeah.
So.
Mate, these pegs, what kind of pegs does the Pan America have, by the way?
Oh, mate, they're not real good. I had lowered pegs on these. These are actually a Harley Davidson peg. They snapped and were rotating on a shaft, so I had to weld the shit out of them to make them work. Yeah, but I'll probably just get no one makes a touring platform foot peg for them yet, like the bigger platform, serrated ones. So I've got a motocross one at home, but they're a little bit too small. These are a bigger platform, so they work fine for what I'm doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mate, moving on from adventure bike training, how did you get into the adventure bike scene?
So being a motocross rider and off-road rider and mountain bike guy, I had a road bike. I had a Triumph America. Kind of like a cruiser, pretty cool bike, yeah. It was hurting my wife when we go for rides because the suspension only had 2 or 3 inches in the back, so she was getting a sore back. So I bought a V-Strom. My first adventure bike was a 2015 V-Strom 650. And then it's suddenly like, oh, this is way cool. Like now I'm Main Range National Park, all the roads around Boona, going, mate, the world just become a motocross track is how it felt to me. And then in COVID, I sold that bike because I worked for myself and was like, I might just get rid of the toys and got rid of it. My next couple of bikes was I had 2 Triumph Tigers. And
1050s?
No, 800s.
800s.
So one had the alloy wheels, then I flipped that and got one with the steel spoked wheels on XC with the 21-inch wheel.
They're good.
That's the bike I rode to Cape York with a wife on the back.
Good effort.
Yeah, when we come back from that is when I decided I'm going to be an adventure bike coach. There was a lot of things on the Triumph I didn't particularly like. You couldn't adjust suspension in any way, no clickers, no adjustment. So I was going to upgrade the Triumph and I go, just go buy another bike. So I bought a 1290 KTM Adventure R. And then the day I bought that is the next week I started adventure bike coaching. Okay. But that's how I sort of got into adventure bike riding, was just, mate, our first big ride was Cape York last year. I'd never ridden more than just a day ride of like 250 Ks. I made it from Bow Desert to Chinchilla and I was ready to go home. I was over it.
On the way to Cape York?
Yeah. Chinchilla, mate. Eyes off the bike, I'm going, I'm hating this. And
Why was that?
It was cold. Because we left in July or August. It was freezing cold once we got to Toowoomba. It was so cold, the wind in my helmet, just everything. Yeah, mate. Everything.
Cold and wet makes riding on the road fucking shit.
Hated it, yeah. Oh, it wasn't raining, it was sunny. It was just cold. Yeah. And then it took me 3 days to kind of acclimatise the fact of long rides, and then now I'm like, it's like an addiction. Now I just love it. Because you went out, or you went to go out to... Did you aim for Big Red and didn't make it? Or? Yeah, so this year we did Cameron Corner, Haddon Corner and back. I was on the 1290 and a mate was on a 30-year-old XR 650. Now we're talking. Yeah, which is pretty sick. The L or the R? R. The R? Yeah. Not that old. Yeah, it was a nice looking, big red thing. Like Big Red Pig. They would have raced them in the Thumpernats and that. Yes, that model. So that was my mate Reese. We went out to Cameron Corner, you know, Inaminka, Haddon Corner. We did that over 10 days. We started to head out there on the Harley about a month ago and I had a issue. The bike started revving to 4,000 RPM and it turned out it had a small tear in an inlet manifold boot. This was an ex-demo bike through Harley Davidson, so I'm suspicions are maybe some guy put a couple of tankfuls of ethanol through it.
Yeah, right.
And ethanol
Are they
eats
not
rubber.
suited to it?
No.
Because I know some say yes, you can, but I know most bike riders
Yeah, look,
don't.
it's literally, I think there's been one other global occurrence of what happened to it.
Oh, it's very
So
lucky.
we had to turn around to Tibooburra and head back. We got back to Cunnamulla and then had to get a car back. We got my brother-in-law to come pick us up. So pretty much on Monday, so today is Saturday, tomorrow I'm doing a ride with Harley Davidson. Monday I'm heading back and it's the redemption ride.
Okay.
So I'm going back out to Cameron Corner, meeting up with a mate on the way, Mike, and we're going to head out and do Big Red and then come home. Yeah, and I've got the ute parked in my driveway, pointed out, ready for Di to come and get me.
Just in case.
If shit goes bad. So
I reckon I'll make it.
I think we'll be right, mate. So if not, I might be buying a Suzuki 800 next week.
This thing has been pretty rock solid. Like,
I've been watching your vids on it, so I'm pretty impressed.
nothing on it. It's just a typical Japanese bike. Like, it just runs like a sewing machine. It just starts straight away. One thing it does annoy me is if you have a tip over. I haven't told people this. If you tip it over, it's got that tip over sensor. So you put it back up, and you go, it just won't start.
Yeah.
So I've tried cycling it, and then you just got to leave it for a few minutes and come back and then wait. It must be, I don't know how they do it, like how the tip over sensor works, but that annoys me.
So if that was a Harley Davidson, you'd have to take the proximity key, walk 20 metres away, come back to the bike and then restart it. That was my issue out west. So I did 9,000 steps one day walking the proximity key away from the bike and back.
Why was it doing that? Because you dropped it, or?
No, because what would happen is it would rev to 4,000 RPM. If the throttle position went to 0, the engine would snuff. It would cut out. I couldn't restart it. So you have to go through a whole ignition start process, take the key away, the key comes back,
that is painful.
Relay clicks in, I could start the bike. But when you do that 30 times in one day, you start really losing your patience.
Was that like a limp mode or something, do you think?
No, it wasn't. No, so limp mode is separate again. It'll actually just go to like a low RPM. Yeah, it won't allow it to rev. So no, it was just air intake. So it was just sucking air in through the boot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long's the ride going to be, do you think?
This ride will be about 4,500 Ks. I'll do it in 6 days or something.
Fuck, so that's some big days.
Yeah, I'll punch out. The first day will be like 700 or something, and
I've done rides like that before.
Yeah, they're exhausting.
But I hate it.
Yeah.
Like I'm very much destination focused, and if the ride isn't interesting, I'd sit on 200 or something like I could, because I'm just like, let's just get there, get it done. Like, my brain's too busy, I suppose.
Mate, the radio's flat out in my head, so there ain't no Bluetooth. There's enough noise going on in my head that keeps me occupied the whole time.
I find on long trips I've got to put earbuds in and music or podcast something, or I go.
I pretty much
depending on what mood I'm in.
Yeah, I pretty much just stop every 100 Ks. When I did the ride with Reese, dirt roads, 50. Every time my speedo hit 50, I'd stop, wait for him. Bitumen, every time it hit 100 Ks, cycles, I'd stop and wait, regardless. Regardless if it was 10 kilometres to a town, I'd stop when my speedo said 100, because that's what I said we were going to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it works pretty well. So it's like micromanaging the trip.
Yeah.
So when I go out west, I'm going to go out through Warwick and that, it'll just be like, right, I'll stop at Warwick, I'll stop at Gundy, then it's all the way through to Ninda Gully.
Yep.
Have lunch at Ninda Gully.
I've heard the burger's out of control there.
Mate, everything is, the steaks, everything is so good. Oh yeah, they make this big giant burger.
Yeah, it's like a
Find a photo and put it on here.
Mate, someone shared it, because I've never heard of it. I've only just really
I think you can feed a family with it.
And they reckon you eat it by yourself, and it's a challenge, you get it for free. I'm like, is that worth it? Like, just share it between like 10 mates.
Yeah.
It is huge.
Yeah, see if you can put a photo on here of it.
Yeah, I'll put a photo over the top for you guys. And, but a lot of people have been talking about riding there lately, in the gully. Must be that kind of just a good meeting spot.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Place to go.
I'm thinking of doing a ride pretty soon. I was talking to the guys at Gasoline Alley about just borrowing a bike, a road bike, like a Street Glide or something, and just throwing Di on the back with a backpack and the panniers. We're going to ride out to Ninda Gully for dinner and come back home the next day. Just do a 1,000 K trip on a big fat Harley.
How far is Ninda Gully?
From Bow Desert, where I live, is 470 Ks. So from Brizzy, it might be 500 Ks.
We could even ride out for a day and camp or...
Yeah.
Stay in a motel or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's the pub. So but you can get rooms at the pub for like $70 a night.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's all we'll do. We'll go and stay at the pub for a night, have dinner, and come home.
All right. Mate, how'd you get into YouTube? Is that flowed on from what you're doing?
No, you know what? I think it was just probably inspired by guys like yourself and seeing other people out there. $1 Million Bogan, seeing Danny with the antics he does.
Okay.
I watched quite a bit of old mate up Sunshine Coast, MVDBR, Josh.
Yep.
Yeah, watched a lot of his stuff. Oh, it's pretty cool what they're doing, and just thought I'd have a crack at doing it. I never thought I'd sort of go fully down the adventure bike thing. I thought I was going to do more on vet motocross, like motocross for vet riders.
Yeah, yeah.
But then it's such a small market, and motocross guys don't want to see a 60-year-old guy wailing around a moto track. You know,
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
People are doing, the vets class is getting pretty popular, I think.
Yeah, it is, but I just found, I put a video up and I'll get 100 views, and I'll do an adventure bike one, and I'd suddenly get 1,000 views. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. And the other thing too is, like I mentioned to you earlier, I like your no BS approach to how you do your videos. You're not trying to pretend you're a TV station, and you're not trying to pretend you've got cameras mounted all around the place, So you're literally just filming what you're doing. And if you have a crash, you're getting off and putting the camera on the ground. I can tell you're putting the camera on the ground. That's the kind of video I like. And as you would know as well, it takes a while to find your lane, what you want to do. So you watch everyone else is going, oh, you got to get a drone, and you got to do the internal mic, and I just go, man, I'm just going to film exactly what I'm doing. So where I'm riding, what I'm looking at, my emotion of what's going on, and edit that and put that out there. And I'm seem to be building a nice little community with that, and people seem to enjoy it. But I'm sure, again, you get the one dickhead that knocks you down a bit, and
oh mate,
it hurts.
That's the internet.
Hey, the one guy that gives me the thumbs down on every video, I'm coming looking for him. There's one guy.
Same video every time.
I can get like 400 likes, and there's one thumb down on every video. It's like, man, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for the entertainment.
People are weird. And
you know what, Curtis? I think I like the creativity side of it. I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
And just trying to find my lane of where I feel comfortable with what I want to film. So thus I don't put much music to the bike riding anymore. I want the viewer to hear the bike.
I find
it's a hard mix.
Yeah, because I don't put much music in at all, nearly never. If I go for a ride, we're going to go for a ride after this, I'm not going to put any music to it. But if I go on a trip, I might put some on if we're stopped or something like that, looking at the camping site. But if you put it in, people complain. They're like, man, I just want to hear the fucking bikes.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
It's a hard thing to balance. And so I've just gone, right, I'd normally throw in some intro music, try and get some cool music and throw that in there and set the theme for the video.
You've got to have a montage, mate.
And then, then sometimes I put music to stuff and I go, oh, I'm really glad I put that in.
Yeah.
But then I can't watch my videos twice if they've got music.
Why is that?
The music drives me crazy. I can normally watch my first edit and go happy with it, but 3 months later I go, oh, I just don't like. I didn't want that music in there. And I say it in one of my videos where I did one video completely no music, and I took the piss out of putting music into videos. And I go, how do I know the music I'm putting on you're going to like, and how do I know you're going to like it in 5 years' time if I want this video to have a life?
Mate, as long as you don't have some aggressive, weird,
I know,
trap stuff going on.
It's a hard one, and I hope that people that watch our videos, like all us moto vloggers, I hope they appreciate that usually the music is put in because the wind noise is so bad that we've got to muffle it.
Yeah,
it's one of the main reasons.
I did that I was saying before this, like the amount of times I had footage ruined by the mic not working something on the ride down the beach. I ended up putting music and voiceover because of that exact reason. All I had was going 120 down the beach. You can't hear a thing.
And these things, you'll get the sound up to about 80, won't you? Once you pipe that thing up, once you get a pipe on that, you'll start hearing the rumble of the bike. And,
this definitely needs a pipe. This boat anchor on the back.
That's the only reason moto vloggers have pipes on their bikes, is so that we can translate that to the people watching our videos, So, But no, that was it, mate. I just thought, why not? I'll have a crack at it. I remember I did a video where I actually said I'm going to become a moto vlogger now, and it was like, here I go. And I did this video where I rode around Bow Desert. And I thought, that's it, I'm a YouTuber. And I think
Oh,
I think that video still only had like maybe 130 views or something.
I refuse to look at the ones I first did. 'Cause I started years ago, and then I didn't really do any, and then I started doing them again. And I look at it, I was like, oh man, that's bad.
And then our first big one was to Cape York, and I called it Pillion to Pajinka, which was me and the wife, and we did a 6-part or a 5-part video, all 30-minute videos. You'll understand this, 85 hours ride time, 75 hours edit to do my first video. It was 75 hours at my desk editing.
That's decent.
Yeah.
That's a good effort.
So then I had to work out how to modify my editing process. And the way I film now, I shoot in bursts.
Okay.
So like 10-second shots.
Yeah.
And then I just trim them down to 5-second shots for my videos. That's literally how I do most of my videos now.
Yep.
And they're all chronological when we upload them, so it's a pretty easy process for me to. So I can punch out a 40-minute video in about 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you've got it pretty down pat.
Yeah, and you know, there's a really good thing about being a moto vlogger. You can actually say what I don't put in it, what I film and don't put in the vlog, you don't know about.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, because a video guy, Mick, and my mate Mick told me that. He goes, yeah, don't do your head in about, oh, I wish I put that in, because only you know.
Yeah. Mate, I was looking the other day at some footage I had, and I recorded that much. I had a full video of just good B-roll. I thought, man, that's great footage, but it's just sitting there. I'm never going to use that. It's just sitting there. Using up space on my hard drive.
I just went through the big delete the other day and cleared some space on my external hard drive, because my external drive is getting full. I go, I don't need, I've done my video, I don't need all the, you know, like my Cape York ride, I think it was like 1,600 or 1,700 video shots over 17 days, which is about right, probably 100 a day, 50, 60 to 80 shots a day. To give you your little 4-second shot of here and here. Oh, but that's how I film, and then that's how I edit. And I try not to get too carried away with the process of it. I just really try and present where I am, what I'm looking at, what I'm doing. Yeah.
So what's the goal with YouTube? What are you going to try and achieve?
Oh, okay. So I guess the goal of YouTube is everyone talks about monetizing YouTube, which is, you know, like we are monetized now and we make a dribble of money out of it. But my main thing is it's a great promotion tool for my coaching. So a lot of guys have seen my videos and they ring me the next day after a release and they'll ride up from Sydney to do a day's coaching.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 2 guys today had watched my videos. Generally now, most people I get through coaching either find me on Facebook or they have watched my videos and they go, mate, like great example, I had a 73-year-old ex-army physiotherapist. He watched a video on me about body position and how I utilise my hips, and and he saw it. He said he turned it off. It was a 45-minute video. He watched 10 minutes of it, turned it off and rang me and booked a full 1-day lesson.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. So it just resonates with certain people, and I think the thing is I don't on my videos I don't put out that I'm absolutely marvellous. I show warts and all. I show my crashes, and I show stuffing up, and I show that riding in sand is hard. I ate shit 3 or 4 times at Double Island Point the other day, and I put that in my videos. So yeah, it's hard. You know it's hard. Let's not pretend it is. You know, but then what I also showed is I punched through the hard stuff really quite easy and comfortable because I was so focused, got through that, relaxed and crashed. So it's good coaching. So that's my goals of YouTube is, you know, there's no thing of saying I want to, you know, it's growing well. It's I think last month we're up to 3,500 subscribers now from 0 a year and a bit ago. So
it's going great then.
Yeah, it's going all right. I'm not paying for any advertising. It's just all propagating and slowly getting out there. But it's frustrating, you know, it's frustrating. YouTube control in one respect what they're putting out there on the feeds and that, and you look at your, you know, you're at the mercy of them to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
I've gone away from worrying about that, I suppose, and just just let it organically grow. And
the same guy, Mick, that gave me the advice on people don't know what is in there, he also said don't focus on the numbers, look away from that. And he's also a moto vlogger, Talk and Chatter is his channel. He just goes, and he's a videographer, that's his profession. He goes, don't focus on the numbers, just try and produce good content, it'll look after itself. And it's like, okay, cool, that's all I'll try and do. So I hope, you know, people that view it, I get great positive feedback.
Yep.
And I like scouring through comments. I read comments on yours as well, and I see there's generally a good positive vibe. I think the funniest comment I've ever had was when I bought the Harley. Someone commented, "Did I hit my head out in the desert?" and it's a good piss take.
And you're like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. And I go, that was probably one of the best calls I've had on there.
Yeah.
I haven't had too much nasty stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't had anyone. I thought I'd cop shit on the Harley. I really did.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I think there was more of a curiosity. Yeah. So, no one really.
I think people have kind of, with this bike, they've seen that it's a pretty decent effort. Like, I haven't ridden one, but, it seems to get a pretty good rap.
Yeah.
And it's something completely out of the box for Harley. Like, they haven't done anything like this.
Yeah, they did make a motocross bike in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Google it, you'll get an image. It was all orange. It had a leather strap on the tank holding the tank down. It was an air-cooled 250cc two-stroke. Great looking bike.
As well.
Yeah, there's a few of them around Australia still. They get around, but there was maybe a dozen in Australia in the 80s, and they were racing maybe 82, 83, something like that.
Competitive, or?
Yeah. Yeah, they were okay.
Yeah. They're okay.
Yeah, I think they fell. I think they had. I don't think they ever had mechanicals. I think they might have had. I think they had a Rotax engine, like the carby down below and the Rotax valve.
Yeah.
So I think they might have done a deal with Rotax in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Put a link in your thing and on it if anyone wants to know.
I'll have to look it up, or someone put it in the comments.
And then you also look at they were the flat track kings and still are.
Yes. Yeah.
So they do have that. Yeah, the XR. So they do have that dirt history. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to the Harley Museum in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
Definitely do that. That's fucking awesome. They just got all these bikes up there and lots of flat track and history.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, Mert Lawwell and that era of like on any Sunday, that era, Harley was the name.
Mate, I've got some set questions I'm going to ask everyone. First one is, what was your first bike?
My first bike was a HT90 Yamaha. I mowed lawns to buy that bike. Bike was worth $45. I'm figuring $1 a lawn, 45 lawns to mow to get the bike. And it was a piece of shit, but it was my first motorbike. Yeah, and I was 11 years old, 1974.
What do those ones look like?
They were the first of the DTs with a high pipe. So there was the DT one.
Yep.
The HT one was a 90. The DT one, I think, was a 250. Yeah. So that would have been Yamaha's first high pipe with the silver, guard on the exhaust pipe. Yeah.
Okay. Just ignore the guys getting stuck in the background, everyone.
Yeah.
Mate, what's your favourite bike?
Favourite bike, I would have to say, is a Husqvarna CR390 from, I believe, mid-70s. So I built one. And reason that was my favourite bike was when I was a young kid in Cooma, one of my brother's mates was an electrician, cashed up. He had a CR390 Husqvarna, brand new, gold rims, black tank, amazing looking motorcycle. That was burnt in my head. So last year I actually sourced all the parts and built one. And then I built it and sold it. But yeah, I ended up owning my most favourite dream bike of all time.
And why'd you sell it?
Sold it to buy another adventure bike. Fair enough, needed the money. Yeah.
Mate, what's the best place you've ever ridden?
Best place I've ridden is, so we've done Cape York, mate, one of the best places I ride is just the scenic rim. The rides around the scenic rim are just, the views of the mountains are incredible. But I would say the best place I've ridden was going to Cameron Corner from Tibooburra. Cameron Corner, then on to Inaminka. No traffic. Amazing country roads, just that red earth, that just blows my mind. That's why I'm heading back there next week. Yeah. That by far over Cape York was just so much more pleasurable and safe to ride. You never felt in danger, but you were kind of pushing yourself the whole time, so you really enjoyed it. And if you've seen it, you're just going over the sand dunes, but you're on like a dirt highway. Yeah. And it's just sand dune after sand dune. It's just fantastic riding. So that's my favourite so far.
What about, because you've been in motocross for a long time, what's your favourite motocross track?
Favourite motocross track, I got to ride at Perris Raceway in California. I went over for a holiday to watch some Supercross and I got to ride there. Toowoomba motocross track, by far probably the best motocross track.
I've never been there, it looks sick.
Yeah, it would be by far the best motocross track I've ever raced on or ridden on. Well, I've never ridden on, I've just raced it. So I've won a heap of vet races there. Favourite track by far. Echo Valley is the name.
Echo Valley, because they do the Australian Supercross there. I want to go next year because they do like there, Coolum, and Coolum as well, I think.
Coolum's shut now. It's
Shut?
gone. Yeah,
Oh,
so
right.
the Australian Motocross Championships are on at Toowoomba each year. Yeah, sort of middle of August or something. Yeah, great
Mate,
event.
another question. This is a bit of a different one. What is motorcycling to you?
Okay, so I'm going to start doing a thing pretty soon, which I've spoken to the guys at Gasoline Alley about, is a Why I Ride bike. A ride. So Why I Ride bike day. And it's pretty much every single person has a different reason for riding. I ride because it's great for my mental health. I've had a lot of issues with mental health in my previous years. I find it is who I am. At the end of the day, it's who I am, mate. So I was drawn to motorcycles in the era of On Any Sunday and Easy Rider, and it's been in my blood. I've had 2 10-year breaks away from motorcycles where I just went surfing, and my wife said to me, why don't you get a bike again? Because she's been with me since we were 16. She's known that motorcycles is such a big part of my life, and it is just who I am, mate. And that's pretty much the answer.
And how does it help with your mental health? You mentioned that.
I think even though I put myself out there publicly, I'm still a very, like to keep to myself. So for me, the social interaction, funny enough, is the part I enjoy. But I like riding by myself. I'm not really a group rider because I'm training people all the time. That kind of is my group activity. Yeah, so I like solo rides. I like going out by my ride. I like riding with my missus on the back and taking her on rides, and that's where I get the enjoyment. I'm not the person that goes on about the freedom of riding a bike and the wind in the hair. It's, I hate all that shit. But I just love I like going in the shed and looking at my bike. That's why I ride kind of unique bikes as well. Motorcycling to me is just a part of my life. As if you're a surfer, it becomes part of your life. And I think it's hard to get it out of your system. Yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I'm very similar. If I don't, I was talking to my wife about last night. We were talking about this question. I get stir crazy and I become pretty much a pest around the house. Like I need to get out and exert myself and just clear my head. And I find nothing does it better than going out on the bike.
Exactly. Or working on your bike. Just the thing to go out and work on your bike and put your racks on and do all your stuff. Like that's all part of it.
Definitely. And at the moment, like we're doing renovations and stuff, so the house is a shit fight and I don't have that space. But when I get that back, it's great to have like a garage, a space you can go to.
We're just in the process of, we've sold a house, we're renting and we're building. So my shed is just moving boxes at the moment. It's doing my head in because I don't have a workspace at the moment. Like, mate, I have a board with all my tools stacked and everything, and it's like now I've just got a box with all my shit in it. It's driving me crazy. But it's like, so there's a big chunk of me missing at the moment, which is my, there's the 8mm and there's the 14. I know where everything is. Now I don't. It's just in a big pile, and that's driving me nuts. But I think the motorcycling thing, I like spreading the word of motorcycle riding. I think people like myself with my YouTube channel and what I do and the person I am with my coaching, etc. I think I've got a lot to give to the motorcycle community. I kind of separate myself from them, but I like giving to it. It's a really weird one, So I don't particularly like being out with 30 guys and hanging out and doing beers and getting on the piss. I'll be the guy that'll go aside and sit by himself. But I like what I can offer. I like helping other people and sharing, and I think I've got a lot to offer in that respect. You
mentioned you ride by yourself a lot. I'm similar. Me, because it's more you're not tethered to anyone in a way, and I've got like a family and shift work and everything like that. So when I get the chances, a lot of time other people don't have a chance. Do you prefer that to riding with a small group, or do you just...
I have a problem where I have a pretty big target on my back.
In what way?
I'm a coach and I'm an ex-pro level motocross racer. So guys that I could ride with will go, Doltsy, let's go for a ride. I burn a tyre in 2,000 Ks. It's like, man, I'm a really boring adventure bike rider. So my videos I put out are highlight reels. I like pulling up and walking to a waterfall and checking shit out. That's what I love about these things. I always question, how can these things be legal? They can bring you so much pleasure. Like these bikes, you can go down the highway at 110 and then go exploring dirt roads. and then back on a highway. I just think that's phenomenal, and that's what I love about the if there's a word freedom, that's the freedom these bikes create for you. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I get my thrill out of is my solo stuff, just being by myself. Yeah.
But with MX riding, you said you ride with people though, like...
Yeah, so a pretty elite little crowd. So I generally ride either by myself on a Saturday, and I'm social. I go and say g'day, 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 but then I'm back to my thing and I ride. But what I do now is on Thursday I ride with Stephen Gall, absolute motocross legend, James Deacon, another motocross legend. We're all similar age. So we just like the camaraderie of going out and doing laps. And what we do, we're all similar speed. We separate ourselves out on the track and we do 20-minute motos. So we're all checking each other and we're all grinding, and we're doing pretty good speed. And for us, that's not even a thing of, like it's a training exercise, and we just that's what we love. So that to me is a social thing, and then we sit around and talk about stuff before we go home. That's pretty much my social interaction. Then I've got family, so and. Yeah, but like tomorrow I'm doing a Harley Davidson ride. It's a first for me, so I'm leading a group of probably 9 or 10 riders. I've done some organised rides. Next year I will be doing tours where I take groups of riders out, but even with them they'll be sort of organised where I'm sweep rider, so I'm always at the back and I'll let the group go in front and I'll come through. I won't actually, and then I've got to kind of separate myself a little bit from the group when it comes to campsites and that. So, but yeah, I'm just a very quiet inner self person. Yeah, even though there's this thing that's out there. Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, I think we all are. Like, mate, I love nothing more than finishing my coaching and I go home and sit on the lounge and put Netflix on. Like, my life is pretty much a highlight reel, so I like my time by myself. Yeah. Okay. And I give so much of myself to people, is the thing. So my training days are mentally draining. I don't know if you've seen Schindler's List, where Oscar Schindler at the end, he wished he could do more. That's how I am every coaching day. I feel I should have given more, because I put everything into a coaching day.
Well, that's a good thing to have in a coach, though. Like, if someone's going with you, they know you're going to give it your all.
Oh, mate, yeah, and like I am usually the one that's exhausted at the end of the day, because like I put in big effort. Yeah.
So I bet you're really stoked to go for a quick ride with me.
Yeah.
After a big day's ride.
I'm ready, man. We'll go for a ride. Anytime riding's good. So, yeah.
Well, mate, before we go for a ride, why'd you buy the Pan America?
Why did I buy the Pan America? Right, so if you have seen any of my previous videos or anything I've done on YouTube or whatever, it's pretty cliche for me to be on a KTM or a Husqvarna, like a Norden or a 890 KTM. That'd be so cliche that I would be another Chris Birch kind of character. So yeah, it's cool. Of course he can do that. He's on that bike. The whole Harley thing comes around from me seeing Easy Rider when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. And I had this dream of riding a big Harley Davidson through the desert. So when I was at Cameron Corner in July this year, I'm standing at the Tibooburra sign, and I actually say on my video, I wonder if I want to do this on a big Harley. That trip when I was riding through the desert, I went, this is it. This is it. I rang Ferg at Gasoline Alley, who I kind of know, and I said, mate, I'm going to come in on Tuesday. I got a crazy idea I want to throw by you. I think I'm going to get rid of the 1290. I'm going to come buy a Harley. So I bought the bike. They helped me out. They sourced one for me. This was a ex-demo out of Harley Davidson Australia. I paid for the bike. The beauty of me buying the bike with my money is I can say what I want about the bike. So if I sell it, there's a reason why. If I'm going to continue riding it, there's also a reason why. I'm not tethered. I'm not married to anybody with this bike. Harley Davidson Australia, they probably don't even know I'm on this bike. My relationship is with a dealership, and the relationship there is the same with any dealership. If I have a problem with the bike, I go and see them. And it's a great way to be. And I was talking to them the other day saying, if something happens with this bike, I'll probably be looking at another brand. And they go, yeah, well, that's cool. We'd expect that to happen. But if they gave me a bike, it'd be all bullshit.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's kind of that line, isn't it? You
definitely got to be able to juggle it.
And how cool, mate, that I'm doing shit on this thing. Like you'll get to see the Savo and maybe throw some video of me doing some stuff on this bike, and you go, well, that's pretty sick that this bike would do it. The other thing too, I've taken this bike everywhere. I've taken my 1290 to prove to myself that it's capable.
And a few bikes have ridden past us today. I think all of them have been enduro bikes, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is an enduro playground in here.
Yeah, it's like a riding mecca. Glasshouse, you haven't ridden here before.
Yeah.
Have you done any mods to it?
I did do mods and I reverted back. So I had a rising linkage on the back. I raised the height of the rear end.
Okay.
But that failed.
Yeah.
So I went back, and then everything else is literally bolt-on accessories. Oh, you were talking about your handguards the other day. Harley Davidson also had a clip-on handguard. So I modified it by cutting them shorter and putting bar ends in.
Okay.
And now, mate, I have dropped this thing solidly on these sides. Yep. So that cost me, what, $17 for a pair of these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they stock mirrors?
Stock mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the whole fold-away mirrors. I've never broken a mirror in 2 years or whatever of adventure bike riding. I adjust them occasionally.
They actually look like they're very easy to set. They just, you just tighten them and they're done.
Yeah, I do have them forward of my arms in a forward position. Okay. Screen is different. Tyres, I run Continental TKC's exhaust pipe. So I've got the carbon fibre Chinese exhaust pipe, $5.99 out of China. Yep. You know, luggage racks, bag. I do have a tall seat. So I've got a touring seat, which is flat through here. Yep. So all gel.
Is that, what seat's that one? Is that the tall seat?
That's the standard stock seat in the tall position.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually, so the seat I've got is dead flat through here. Yep. Yeah. And then, mate, everything else is pretty much stock. Guard extender on the back. Yeah, right. Just a little $10 thing on AliExpress. Fender extender, lifted the fender off the...
Oh, yeah, for mud and...
Off here, so it's a bracket under here, like $20 bracket. Yep. And then put a little tail extender on there as well. Yep. Okay. Which tucked back once under the wheel. And you can see I've heated it up and bent it back. Yep. Oh, that's pretty much it. Yep. Yeah, right. Yeah. How do you find... This is 19-inch front, right? Yes. How do you find your tyre selection? There's plenty of choice with that. So these work great. The Continental TKCs, I haven't lost a front end, only in sand, which is not losing the front end, that's just front end grabbing in the sand. Yep. These are fantastic. Sand on bikes this big is just a challenge anyway. Biggest thing I noticed was the bitumen. This thing felt really slow and lethargic when I first hit the bitumen. Yep. Yeah, so when I first started riding it on the bitumen, I thought something was wrong with the front. It was just more weight in the front wheel, where the 1290 had the 21-inch, and it's just flops over more. That took a little bit to get used to, but now I'm used to it. That's good. Off-road, I don't really notice any difference between the 19 or the 21, to be honest. Okay. Yeah. It's look, they're kind of... They grow on you. Endearing. They're so ugly, they're attractive. Have you seen? I've got 2 boxer dogs. It's similar. You know? Yeah. It's the same, mate. Head with a fry pan. Yeah. You know what I'd like to do to it? Picture this. Get rid of all of this and just put a big round headlight on it. That would be pretty sick. Yeah. And if I keep the bike for a couple of years and look, this could be the bike that I keep, and let's get 100,000 kilometres on this thing and see. It may very well do that. Yeah, and if I do that with this bike, I'll probably do some little mods. Like, I don't particularly enjoy any of this here. I think I'd try and make it look a bit more like a scrambler and just do something a little bit unique again. Yep. Yeah. But I've got the TFT screen, so I don't know how to incorporate it, but, you know, I'm sure I could do something. You enjoying it? Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. If you gave me a brand new 1250 BMW, it'd be like driving the latest car. Okay, it'd be so beautiful to ride. This thing's like giving me the keys to a GT 351 Falcon or something. It's like, it's crunchy and grindy, and you've got to put effort into riding it. Yep. And I think that's what I love about it. When I first bought it and I left the dealership at Springwood to go back to Bow Desert, I'd never test rode one. So I sold the KTM, I just went cold straight in and bought it, rode it home, I hated it. But then my first ride, I'm going, I'm kind of digging the noise of it. And then 3 or 4 rides, I go, I'm really enjoying the interaction with the bike. And now it's just like an extension of me. So yeah, I'm totally cool with it now. I found with that, I bought that the same. You know, I got it home that afternoon, I rode it down the street, and I was just like, this feels fucked. Like, Curtis, what have you done? Yeah, like they just feel so, it's a new bike, it's completely foreign. Some bikes you jump on and they just feel perfect straight away, whereas when you get something you haven't really ridden, sometimes it's a bit weird. And look, you know, I'm sure if we swap bikes, you'd go, I can't ride this thing, and vice versa. But you just get comfortable with it. I love the feeling of the bike. I love the look of the bike, and it's just something that's, you know, it's a great conversation starter as well. Yeah. So, you know, whenever I'm traveling anywhere, I can pull up and park and go and have a coffee, and there'll be people standing around the bike talking and looking at it. And I enjoy that.
It's very unique looking.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's we'll see how it goes. This ride next week will be a big one, the redemption ride, and we'll see how it handles that, and what the future holds from there, mate. Who knows?
Well, should we go for a ride?
Yeah, let's go ride.
All right, let's do it.
Cool.
Let's go for a ride. Oh, if I can get on the bike. Lead the way, mate. I said to Mal, I said, don't critique my riding too much, mate. So, get that out of my system. We're looking for a hill he did. Now, a lot of the forest is shut at the moment because there's been fires. I think some arson problems, a couple of fires. So we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, I'm getting dirt right in my eyeballs. But hopefully we can get to this hill Mal tried to get up, but he was fully loaded up and in a hurry, so he just kind of gave it a miss. So I'm going to try and get up that today. See how the big jigger performs too. I was watching Mal, who nearly came off, and I went the same line. He's got it. So everyone else out here today is on enduro bikes. Here we are in the big rigs. Oh yeah, there's some gnarly hills around here. I think Big Red's back there. There he goes. Sounds pretty good, the old Pan Am. It's a Chinese exhaust on it. Up we go. Woo! How good? Which way we got, Mal? Such a great track. Big rig gets along fine. Helps if you're a pro level rider, right? There we go. It's pretty treacherous fucking hills around here. Which way we going, Mal? It's really guts. This can get really muddy through here. Exhibit A. Street. So this is the hill. I'll go out, get a good spot. It's pretty. You went up the left? What way are you going to go this time?
I think I can do it.
Which way? You're going to get a run up from here?
I went up to the left. So where I fucked up last time is I started here. So I came up here and turned. So I kind of lost a bit of speed here. So I think next time I'll come up there.
Crossover? Okay.
And then I'll drift out to the left. I've only got a couple of kilometres now fast, but I'll do it quite comfortably, I think. The problem was...
And then they got to go to the centre, the looks of it.
Yeah, then I'll probably stick to the left a bit. and around that corner out the side is where I hit a rock ledge I didn't know about. Because I didn't walk it, I just rode it.
Yeah, yep.
So,
Okay.
so what I did the other day is I pulled up down here and I went, right,
Bang.
I can do it. I just hit it.
This is the hill Mal came off last time. It is bloody treacherous. So he's going to start down here. He's down there. I'm going to walk up and film it. So let's go walking up. So he's going to try to come up left here. Like, it's steep, guys. Really steep. This is the, yeah, there's this big step up here. This is the tricky part. The rest is pretty doable. What he does here, yeah, will be the hard part. He might have to go in the middle. All right, here he comes. I'm a bit in the way. I'm nervous for him. Hey! You got it, you got it. Nice! Smashed it. Made that step up there look easy. It's fucking steep. Woo! Okay, I'm nervous. Mal got up fucking easy. Well, not easy, but it looks easy because he's a good rider. Now he's gonna film me coming up. And I'm nervous. Woo! It's alright. Come on, Strummer. Momentum, everyone. Think positive thoughts. If not, I'll get crash bars now. Gonna hit the left like Mal did. Oh, I'm nervous, everyone. There we go. Woo! Hey!
I thought it was over.
It got a bit loose there.
That thing ate it.
Yeah, easy. It's actually pretty grippy, that rocky section. That's fucking big hill.
Well done, man.
Well, let's do another one. Alright, we had our fun going up the hill. We'll start heading along the power lines here. Pretty steep and treacherous at times. Looks like they've graded it because there's been fires around here. Whoop. See that one, Mal?
Oh.
Not a chance. You're gonna get a run up. This is hard here, like difficult, then up there should be pretty easy. Nearly.
Wow.
That is soft.
That is way too soft.
And dusty. Yeah, that big washout just there.
Yeah, how's the dust? Sorry
I didn't,
about
no, all good. I'm just chewing it.
that. No, stay there. You just film.
You're gonna zing it down,
Yeah, I'll get it.
drag the front around. Maybe if you go this line,
Yeah.
straight up there.
Was the intent. Did that rock come out off me?
Yeah, it all just spat out. I saw it. Test out those crash bars.
How to treat a Harley.
Freshly graded, mate. It's just soft and shitty.
Right, hill rescue.
Oh, lovely technique with the knees. What do you reckon? Yeah, probably try and go that line. Oh, then there's that big chew out there, but
Yeah. Ooh, it's just soft, eh?
yeah, I'm dug into it. Tricky. Got it. So far. Shit, he did well. I gotta get up it now. Look at the beach trim in the sunlight, everyone, looking gorgeous. Only one way to do it. I'm on an awkward angle. I have to get right up in the pegs and then just send it. Nice. Not too bad.
Yeah, good one.
We headed south and had an absolute blast. How good is this section with the erosion mounts? And look at that Pan Am fly.
Go the big Pan Am.
That was pretty sick.
How good was that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, great track. We'll come out somewhere, right? We're just heading back slowly.
This fresh track looks like a good option and was a blast. Turns out it was a dead end.
Oh, let's cut through somehow. Bit of a fence here. That's been cut a long time ago. Oh, didn't see that. Wow.
We doubled back in search of a main road as it was getting late. I don't mind heading back on the same trail when it's as fun as ones like this. Mal had no issues getting along at a good clip on the big Pan Am. Looks like Harley have done a pretty good job here.
There we are. All right, mate, that's the end of the ride. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Where can people find you?
Old Man Speed Adventures on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Old Man Speed Adventures and all my details are there, and also oldmanspeed.com.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks for coming on the back wheel.
Yeah, mate. Heaps of fun. Loved it.
All right, see ya.
Cheers,
See you
everyone.
guys.
I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Chat and Ride. This is going to be a regular series on the channel, so if you liked it, hit that subscribe button and keep it on the back wheel. Catches.
Nearly.